Live from my bedroom closet, it's Drop the Math Scale's Top 10 Movies of 2018. Barely squeezing its way onto my top 10 list is the half-documentary, half-crime drama American Animals. Based on the Transylvania University book heist, writer-director Bart Layton took the unconventional approach of blending interviews with the true-life culprits into the semi-fictional retelling. Pair that with great performances by the lead actors and some of the slickest editing of any film of 2018, American Animals is a great example of how films can tell stories that otherwise wouldn't work in other formats. If you're looking for a film that has deeper story elements than a run-of-the-mill crime drama, I would highly recommend watching this one. While 2016 and 2017 had their share of great heart sci-fi films, 2018 follows suit with my 9th favorite film of 2018, Annihilation. Following a group of female soldiers, this film addresses the issues of depression, grief, and self-destruction in a way I had never seen before. As their journey progresses deeper into this alien landscape, the group begins to see the world, and themselves, change as they come face to face with their psychological issues. Annihilation isn't for sci-fi fans who are looking to watch an easygoing story while munching on popcorn, but for those who want to be intrigued and interpret the story for themselves. With its deeper thematic elements, orgasmic original score, and equally beautiful and horrifying imagery, Annihilation was one of my early favorites from 2018 that managed to stay within my top 10. Awkwardly dancing its way into number 8 on this year's list is The Favorites. This offbeat comedy drama about three women's fight for power and admiration surprised the hell out of me, as I am not a fan of historical period piece films in the slightest. But its sly wit, unorthodox approach to the genre, and captivating performances won me over quickly. And although there are 7 films I enjoyed more than this one, I find the most deserving out of all the nominees for Best Picture. It may be jarring to those who like the traditional genre format, but if you're able to let loose and give this film a watch, you'll be hard-pressed to walk away disappointed. Vlogging into 7th on my list is a cringe-inducing film, 8th Grade. First-time writer-director Bo Burnham perfectly captures the torments of adolescence through the incredible acting of newcomer Elsie Fisher, as she plays Kayla Day, a quiet 8th grade student in her final week of middle school. The film tackles issues of social media, image status, and the need for independence and affirmation that many people face in their formative years. I can't count how many times I visually cringe while watching Kayla's situations play out and remembering my younger self going through the same. It's not as pleasing as other coming-of-age films such as John Hughes' Library, but it's far and away one of the best representations of the challenges teens face. No matter how alone and defeated you feel, there are others out there that feel just the same, trying to hide it all too. Coming in at 6 is the hit indie thriller Searching. Told exclusively through computer and phone screens, this movie should have failed like the others that have come before it. But through careful planning by writer-director Anesh Chaganty, who spent over a year working out the logistics, Searching excels in both originality and genuine storytelling. I found myself enthralled by all the little details in every conversation, image, and internet tab throughout the film. I went into this movie blind, having never seen a trailer and knowing only the basic premise behind it, and came out thoroughly impressed by the amount of emotions a text message conversation or images in a hidden folder could produce. For a film that takes place on small screens, this one felt larger than it ever intended to be and easily ranks mid-pack on my list. Quietly making its way into my top 5 is the instant horror classic A Quiet Place. While the thrills won't quite hold up on repeat viewings, the theater experience alone still ranks as one of my favorite in the last few years. I have seen a few horror films since, and none of them have made me as conscious in holding my breath and staying as still as possible, quite like A Quiet Place did. It's not the best horror film by any means, but its original premise and execution has definitely left an impact in pop culture, and if you can accomplish that, then you would definitely have achieved something special. Thanos and company snapped their way to number 4 in 2018's top 10. Following Marvel's most esteemed heroes as they take on Thanos, this movie delivered more than anyone could have hoped for after a 6-year build-up. Action-packed with big stakes and surprising emotion, Infinity War showed the entire filmmaking community how franchise build-ups pay off after years of setting them up. And with little known about Endgame so far, I cannot wait to see how the finale of this duology ends. I know there will be more movies after Endgame in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but really, is there any way that Marvel can top themselves after Infinity War? I guess we'll have to wait to find out. Jumping from a plane at 30,000 feet, Mission Impossible Fallout dives its way into this year's top 3, with franchises like the Fast and Furious having found new legs into their sequels with increasingly more laughable premises. The Mission Impossible franchise remains pretty steady throughout its run, and seemingly gets better with each iteration. Fallout is not just arguably the best entry into the series, but arguably one of the greatest action films of all time. From intense fistfights in a bathroom to hanging onto a helicopter for dear life, Fallout is a testament to the overlooked importance of stunt coordination in the blockbuster landscape of today. With each film finding ways to excel above the previous, I cannot wait to see what impossible missions they have to tackle on next. Tongue-clicking its way into number 2, Hereditary sits solidly as runner-up for my favorite film of 2018. After hearing both glowing and scathing reviews, I went in not sure how I was going to enjoy this, but coming out, I can only describe Hereditary as jaw-dropping. There are so many moments in this movie that literally left my mouth agape with tense or psychotic scenes. It already stands as one of my favorite horror films of all time, and although I was left exhausted when the credits started rolling, watching Toni Collette and Alex Wolff turn in career-defining performances left me wanting more. While most horror films rely on cheap jump scares, Hereditary grabs its audience and refuses to let go, forcing them to soak in every horrific moment. This is a film that I will end up watching many times to pick apart what made it work so well, and one that I will recommend highly to anyone who's looking to watch a true horror film. Web-swinging its way into my favorite film of 2018 is none other than Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This isn't only one of my favorite animated movies of the last decade, but possibly my favorite superhero movie ever behind The Dark Knight. Spider-Verse is so beautifully animated that every comic book inspired frame could literally jump off the screen and be hung into an art exhibit. Add on a solid screenplay with some of the funniest and deepest moments of any recent superhero film, and you've excelled above anything before it. There are so many moments where I donned the biggest, stupidest grin on my face as I took in every beautiful shot, every meta humor line of dialogue, and every bombastic action sequence. Like Baby Driver of last year, there's no substitute for a movie that gives you pure, unadulterated fun and fully encapsulates you at every moment. So whether you enjoy every Marvel film that has come out, or are beginning to feel the superhero fatigue after a decade-long dominance in the box office, Spider-Verse is one you do not want to sleep on. So, those are my top 10 movies of 2018. What did you think? And what ended up making your list? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. There will be a special Oscars related video coming out soon.